If you're just like me and you have a Shopify brand and you're looking to find the best SMS marketing app that's going to help you scale and grow your company, well, look no further in this video because I've been able to build an 8-figure brand and generate tens of thousands of dollars through a particular SMS marketing app that's helped me grow my business. And I want to actually lay out the differences between the top SMS apps so that you can make a better educated decision on what's going to work best for you, and highlight some key details and criteria that you need to be thinking about when selecting an app. So let's dive in. The best SMS Shopify apps to grow your brand. Let's first start talking about criteria. What are we looking for? How do we get the most out of the SMS app that we are looking to use on Shopify? Well, we've got to ask ourselves a few key questions. The first one is, can customers text you back? That's our first question. And this is important because the way that SMS marketing is being done in 2025 and 2026 is by focusing more on what can we do to personalize and customize each message to a customer and help them finish checking out, help them to make their purchase. We've all gotten those annoying automated do not reply messages from companies, right? 60% of customers want to actually have conversations with brands. And when I learned this was kind of eye-opening to me. They don't just want to get blasted by promotions and discounts and offers. Now, those are important, but that's not the main focus here. So if customers can ask, for example, do you have this in my size? Or getting instant answers like, do you sell this in blue? Or will I get my order by X date? That's what conversational SMS is really all about. And this is a big differentiating factor because you no longer focus on broadcast messages, because broadcast messages, let's be honest, they're usually promotion, discount focused, and they're great for generating revenue, but they don't really nurture your customer well. Even if they're a potential customer, it doesn't nurture them well to get into the sale. So that's the first question. The second piece of criteria that we want to be thinking about is, does it actually make money? Anyone can say that their app is the best, but can they prove it with real numbers? So look for case studies with actual brands showing specific revenue generated, conversion rates, and the ROI. If an app just says increases sales without proof, then you want to make sure you find something that actually has proof behind it. You really want to see the receipts from the brand, that they're actually showing real results and you're seeing the ROI. So we're going to dive into that a little bit here in a second once we compare those top four platforms. The next question is, does it plug into Shopify instantly? Does it easily work with the platform? This is important because you want it to work with your current Shopify store. The best apps connect to your Shopify store in one click and automatically sync all your customer data, products, and orders. If you have to manually export CSV files or spend hours setting up integrations, that an app really just ends up wasting your time, right? So deep integration means that the app knows what customers browsed, what's in their cart, and their purchase history automatically. That's another important key feature, right? Because the more data we can capture from our customers, the better we're going to be able to generate revenue with those people. The next question is, does AI handle the heavy lifting? We live in a world today where AI is an important part of everything that we do. And if we utilize it correctly, it can really help us grow our business and automate things so you can keep your overhead low, especially when it comes to your team costs with your brand. And so if you get 500 texts asking, what's your return policy? Or is this available in blue? Do you really want to answer all those manually and pay someone to do that and have customer service? There are AI-powered apps that can handle everything and these questions around the clock, 24/7, at a fraction of the cost. It's almost like having employees who can be available all the time, right? Because 8 hours a day, most employees can't be available unless you outsource, in a different country, where you can have them work the hours that they're not available or that most of the team is not available. And it also costs a lot less than hiring someone. So that's an important part and something to think about. And the last thing is really important as well is it legal and will it keep you safe? There are many different compliance that you want to make sure you're following with SMS. There's laws like the TCPA, the CAN spam, and that protect people from spam texts, right? So if you break them, even by accident, you can get charged anywhere between $500 to $1,500 per text, which is insane. So apps with built-in compliance automatically handling opt-ins, opt-outs, and legal requirements, so you literally can't mess up or get sued. And none of us want to get sued. It's really like having the lawyer built into your software where you're protecting against the things that could happen and you've kind of foolproofed your SMS marketing, okay? So these are the criteria that we look for. And really, like, the goal here is to highlight these criteria because I want you to be thinking about when you're deciding on what app to use, that these are the frames of mind that you think through. Let's get to the comparison. Let's look at the comparison between these platforms. So we've got OmniSend, we've got PostScript, we've got Attentive, and we've got TxtCart. Let's kind of go through here, and you can pause the video anytime to kind of go through this and, read through all of this, but we're going to go through and just have a look at some of these features and compare the difference. And then we're also going to get to something very, very important here after we have a look at this and compare things. Let's start with the price, right? Price is always the biggest thing that we look at when we're trying to make a decision. You just want to make sure that we can keep our costs lower. Now, on TxtCart, you can start with a $29 a month plan. On the Attentive software, it's usually custom, so it can be anywhere between $2 to $3K per quarter minimum. There's a PostScript free plan, but then there's $100 a month for the growth plan. There's also a free plan on OmniSend for $0, and then $16 a month is standard. So we look at all these different platforms. TxtCart is more of conversational AI SMS. We've got enterprise SMS and email for Attentive. PostScript is SMS marketing focused, and OmniSend is email and SMS combo. Now, these are the top platforms that are being utilized today, but you can see that there are two platforms that focus on SMS and email. And if you're like me, I like to look at a platform and know that they're the expert and really good at one thing. And so splitting the focus between email and SMS, even though they go together, I think that one thing that stands out to me is just the focus that PostScript has and TxtCart has on SMS specifically. Another feature or criteria is conversational AI. We talked about this a little bit in the criteria, but do we have AI being utilized within these companies? On OmniSend, we've got no conversational AI. PostScript, we've got basic two-way. It's limited AI. We have very limited AI on Attentive, but it's mainly broadcast emails, so promotional emails. And then TxtCart has native AI agents with two-way SMS. So they actually utilize a lot more conversational, where like you don't even have to talk to your customers. The AI will do that, and you input information, and it will be able to answer those questions without you having to do anything and close those deals. It's pretty crazy, actually. Now, proven results. So there are proven results across the board. On OmniSend, we've got 87% cart recovery, email focus metrics. So again, more of the email side of things for OmniSend. We've got PostScript, which claims to have a 34x average ROI, which is like a broad average. The Attentive claims 25x plus an ROI, so enterprise clients only. So again, we don't know like how that works for smaller brands. And then on TxtCart, we have 55% conversion rates. We have a few case studies, and we'll have a look at those later. But again, all of them have case studies with different proven results. Now, in terms of setup time, we've got a quick setup, one-click install for PostScript and OmniSend. We've got a free trial available, complex required onboarding team for Attentive. There are actually heard a lot of things about Attentive, and they seem to be a good platform, but we've had brands using Attentive, and it's really difficult to integrate things into the rest of their business. Like, for example, we've tried to set up different apps to connect with Attentive, and it's been almost impossible and very difficult to do so without it being as easy as some of the other apps. So very interesting. Attentive seems to be good, but just I think it's doesn't play very well with other things. And then TxtCart takes 5-10 minutes to set up, one-click Shopify sync. So I know this is due a lot to the compliance. So the compliance setup and making sure that you're all good there is what takes most of the time there. Now, trial offers, like how can we get started with any of these plans? So OmniSend has a $1 SMS credit on the free plan. PostScript has $25 minimum spend credit. And Attentive have free trial available, no credit offer. TxtCart has $1,000 in SMS credits plus a 10x ROI guarantee, which is pretty crazy. And I think they also have a 14-day free trial. Going down here, let's kind of have a look at best use case. I'm not going to go through every single thing. Like I said, you can pause the video here and go through and look at each one. The best use case for TxtCart is cart recovery, conversational commerce, customer service via SMS. For Attentive, large enterprise brands, 20 million plus with dedicated teams. Basic SMS campaigns and list growth for PostScript. And email first brands adding SMS as a secondary channel. One thing that's different is the cart recovery and conversational commerce with TxtCart, which is something that is not really offered across here. So you already have a bit of a competitive advantage with this, because at the end of the day, like you can send SMSs out to your customers, but if you can have automatic cart abandonment, just like you have with email, right? Abandon carts, then how much more effective is it going to be? Because text messaging is literally like texting a friend, right? Like when you get a text message, you pay attention. When you get an email, you don't pay attention as much. We talked about compliance, right? All of the compliance is kind of built in with each platform. There's support across the board for most of these apps. We have different pricing models as well. And we have flat monthly cost plus low commission on recovered sales for TxtCart. We have custom enterprise pricing on the Attentive, tiered plans and per messaging fees plus an optional $750 a month short code, and then tiered by contacts and separate SMS credit purchase on the OmniSend. There's lots of different ranges of how the pricing model works. So it really just depends on how much money you're making with the platform, right? Potential drawbacks. We've got TxtCart, which is Shopify focused, is limited on other platforms. Attentive is very expensive for small or mid-sized stores. Export limitations are also reported. Over attribution in native reporting, US and Canada focus only with PostScript. SMS is secondary to email, limited SMS features for OmniSend. Now, the Shopify ratings, really important. We look at those. We have 4.9 out of 5 stars with 227 reviews for TxtCart. We have Attentive, which isn't actually available in Shopify App Store. We have 4.8 out of 5, 1,100 reviews for PostScript, and 4.8 out of 5, 2,800 reviews for OmniSend. So pretty similar reviews and ratings, which is cool. And yeah, like I said, feel free to pause this, have a look at the rest of them, but comparing all of them, one of the things that sticks out to me is just having the conversational AI. And, you can use a platform like OmniSend or Attentive to kind of use your combination of email and SMS together. But again, like using Klaviyo, it's hard to replace Klaviyo when that's such a strong platform for email. So, that can be a decision that you want to make. But with PostScript, you can also do SMS, but there's really no AI integrated into it. That's really something that could hold you back in the future because AI is continuing to develop and improve and grow as time goes along. With that said, let's have a look at TxtCart, okay? Because TxtCart is ultimately the place that we have generated a large amount of revenue for our brand. You can see here we generated $66,000 in revenue with TxtCart at an 8.61 ROI with our brand Gamenetics. This is a brand that my brother and I have built. We've done over $10 million in sales. And it's been a really important platform in helping us to recover abandoned carts. And that's really what TxtCart does so much better than all these other platforms. Like I've tried PostScript, I've tried Attentive. We work with many different brands that use these apps. We've also tried OmniSend as well. Like all of these other apps, they do their job, but the thing that makes TxtCart really unique is that when we started using it, we saw an ROI out of the gate. Like within the 14-day free trial that we got, we were able to justify the cost and we're able to generate like a large amount of revenue in just the first 2 weeks. I think it was like even $1,000 or $2,000. And again, like I am telling you guys this because I use it for my brand. Like, yes, I know that we're here on the TxtCart channel sharing this, but like, please understand that this is coming from a brand owner. I do not own TxtCart. I am here speaking for and sharing my experience with these SMS apps. I've noticed that TxtCart is unique with the conversational AI and also the abandoned cart recovery. You can see that there's an inbox here where you can actually see messages that come in from customers that the AI is communicating with. So you can put in your brand details, your FAQs, and it will actually answer all those questions for you without you having to do anything. So TxtCart is really where you can drive more revenue with AI-powered SMS, and they've got some crazy things on the horizon too, but I want to show you some case studies, okay? So with TxtCart, you can see an average ROI of 18x, okay? So if you spend $100 with TxtCart, you're probably going to average $1,800 in revenue, all right? Now, they have tons of case studies here that you can look at and go through specifically to how they have helped these brands and all of their metrics, okay? So for example, this one here, Her Plus TxtCart, right? So they added 160K revenue, 21x ROI, 10% checkouts recovered with 60,000 conversations. So I'm not going to read through all of this, but again, like this is crazy. Like, can you imagine if you added something to your business that helped you get a 21x ROI? You're not getting that on cold traffic. You may not even get that on warm or hot traffic or retargeting, right? Like this is crazy. So just the sheer amount of orders that can come through just adding this to your Shopify store is massive. So that is one example. Another example here is Organi with TxtCart, $1.2 million in attributed SMS revenue, 16.9 SMS attributed ROI. An increase in subscribers, 24,000 orders recovered, average order value $51, 118,000 conversations, right? Like, this is crazy. And all you have to do is install. Like, it's so simple to do. This completely runs on autopilot for us. We don't have to do anything. It just generates revenue. It prints money. There's a campaign feature as well where you can do promotions and sales, especially during Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Christmas, and other sales that you're doing. So you can still send normal campaigns, but the cart recovery is really where you have a lot of more success, because ultimately it's someone who's working for you without having to have a customer service rep. It's just closing deals for you. People who are getting to the cart and then abandoning cart, and you can close them through SMS. This is really where you can add a lot of lift in your business, in your brand. If you're looking for like the lowest hanging fruit, I would highly recommend that this is the way to do that. We've obviously looked at all the different apps that you can use, right? Attentive, PostScript, OmniSend, TxtCart. Yes, you can get certain things done with these other apps, but with TxtCart, it's so much more than just the broadcast the broadcast SMS side of things. I'd highly recommend, there's a 14-day free trial you can go and sign up with. It's very, very easy to do. You get $1,000 in SMS credits. You've got nothing to lose. And I'd highly recommend going and downloading TxtCart. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Please let me know if you have any questions down below, and I'll see you in the next video.